Hi, and welcome back to the Koi Warehouse. This is the second in a series of videos on koi health. Today we're going to be discussing how to prepare yourself to treat koi successfully. If you've already watched the first video, you will already know or have seen how to sedate or anaesthetize a koi. Obviously, to do this you'll need a bowl for anaesthetizing a koi, a bowl for recovery, and a treatment area where you can administer the treatment. Here at the Koi Warehouse we have a specially designed area which has a recessed stainless steel bowl in it, and this can actually be scrubbed out as well. In this we place some bubble wrap, and then obviously we place the sedated koi. For you to do this, it's quite a simple procedure. You can either buy a commercially made thing called a cradle, which you can actually place your fish in as an area where you can apply your medications, or simply buying a baby's changing mat will do the same job. If you notice around me, there's an array of stuff. I like to be prepared. It's always advisable to do this yourself. Set everything out before you even start thinking about treating the fish, and then you'll find that you're not actually looking for something while the fish is sedated. Before you actually do anything at all, the use of gloves is an essential part of any treatment at all. The last thing you want is sort of all these chemicals on your skin. So the use of gloves is vital. If you notice by the side of me there's a towel. Some people like to use tissues, I like to use towels. The reason being, when I sedate a koi, my hands, obviously when I place it into the treatment area, are wet. I don't like to work with wet hands, so I find the towel the easiest way to dry my hands off. If we look at what we're actually going to do to the fish to begin with, it usually requires sort of cleaning any wound at all, and to do this we have something called tea tree oil, a very inexpensive product. You don't need to go out and spend huge sums of money on commercial topical treatments. This you can buy from your high street store for around about £3. The second thing we found over the years, and we've used many different products over the years, commercial and not commercial, so these really have stood the test of time. This is iodine, again a very, very inexpensive product. A bottle like that would probably cost you £3 from the local supermarket. The third thing maybe is not so easily found, but you could probably find it online. This is a very powerful antiseptic which contains violet. It's a sticky solution, a bit like Friar's Balsam, but will stay on the fish when placed back in the water, and will last for a good few hours once you've actually placed the fish back in the water. The second thing really is how to apply the topical treatments. For this, many people actually just use cotton buds. They dip the cotton buds into different types of treatments which we've already shown you what they are, and then you apply the cotton buds to those areas. Personally, I prefer to use little cotton pads which I cut up. I actually get these from the pads that you can buy in any supermarket. Again, very, very inexpensive, about £90 for a pack. 90 pence for a pack. These are the cotton buds. What I generally do, if the fish is in front of me, I just dab whichever one I'm applying to the fish. I dab that all over the area that's infected, and it's a much quicker method. You also make sure that the solutions you're applying are evenly spread, and the less time you have the fish sedated, the better. So I'll just dispose of those in there at the moment. These are the tools then that we actually use. If we just go through these one by one. These are my favourite pair of scissors. They're used obviously for just cutting the nails. They're slightly turned up at the ends, which makes them ideal for trimming fins, dorsal fins, or any application, even cutting scales, things like that, they can be used for. That's my favourite set of scissors. The other thing which I use a lot is scalpels for all sorts of procedures, which you will see as the videos roll on. You'll see me using different tools for different applications. So you can get these from obviously any craft store. It's important that you get the ones that are similar to this rather than like a Stanley blade or something like that. I normally use two sets of tweezers. These are very, very inexpensive. Again, any high street superstore, chemists, places like that, around about 90 pence. These actually will grip scales which are dead or necrotic tissue, which you can then remove safely from the fish without causing the fish any damage. These are the ones as I showed you earlier for my swabs. I don't really use those for anything other than that. Another useful tool would be a pair of bone cutters. These are useful for when you're looking at the anal fin of a koi. If the front anal fin of a koi is very, very badly damaged, or the dorsal front rays are damaged, you will not cut these with a pair of scissors. So a pair of bone cutters is another useful tool in your medicine chest. Moving on now then to some other tools we've actually got here. This is a pair of surgical suture scissors. They are very expensive, and you probably won't need to use these at all. You can actually probably do the same job if you practice with a pair of tweezers. In fact, I've got a smaller set here which are cheaper. These are sort of tweezers which will clasp, and you could use something like this for sutures. So they're the tools that we generally use and the topical applications we use. Other forms of treatment then we would apply. Obviously, if the fish has come onto the table with an ulcerated wound, which would require some form of antibiotics, we need to know what antibiotic to apply to that koi. In order to do this, we have bacterial swabs, which we can take a culture off the fish, place it into the container. This then gets sent off to your vet. 3 to 4 days later you would have the results back, hopefully in time to administer the right antibiotic to cure the bacterial infection the koi has actually got. Some bacterial conditions cure themselves topically, some don't. It's always advisable not to jump in with antibiotics, but firstly discover what sort of bacteria is infecting the koi. These are surgical sutures. Again, they're very expensive. They're around about £10 each. Not that easy to use, but again, if it's something you're interested in learning how to do, we'll go ahead and show you how to apply surgical sutures. There we go. That's just some of the things that we need to treat koi with. You can go ahead and sort of build your medicine chest up and be prepared to treat koi. Hope you join us for the next video when I'll be showing you how to use sutures both on the mouth and in the fins. Thanks for joining us. See you again soon.